So it looks like Sweet Baby Inc. has struck again, yet another gaming studio that is going down in flames because of what Sweet Baby Inc. has done. Simply being associated with this gaming consultancy agency can land you in a heap of trouble, and Tales of Kenzera Zhao's studio Surgent is no exception to this dumpster fire. Sweet Baby Inc. influenced Tales of Kenzera Zhao developer begins laying off employees despite previously claiming that boycott did not crush game. This is from That Park Place, and they have consolidated a ton of information that I was actually reading across the space today. They did a great job of putting it all together, so I'm using their article as a reference to show you guys what's been going on with this disaster of a video game. I mean, this is basically one of Sweet Baby Inc.'s babies. All right, this is a game that was made by a close friend of Sweet Baby's CEO, and it is not doing well. I reported on this in the past and how it was not getting a huge player base. Not a lot of people were playing at the 24-hour peak on Steam charts was abysmal. And it says right here that Surgent Studios, the video game development company that developed Tales of Kenzera Zhao with the help of consultancy Sweet Baby Inc., is now laying off employees. So they're firing their people now. They have to let them go because they're not making enough money. Now the CEO says, no, none of that's happening. The game's actually a success. Well, then why are people getting fired, Abubakar? Come on, man. As initially reported by Minimal Effort, so shout out to Minimal Effort Gaming, numerous Surgent Studios employees announced they had been laid off on LinkedIn. Joe Philpott, a 3D environment artist, posted, "Unfortunately, I have been affected by the layoffs at Surgent Studios. If you or anyone you know is looking for a 3D artist, 3D environment artist, with 3+ years of experience in multiple shipped projects in games and VR, I would love to talk more." So that was the 3D environment artist. They're gone now. Another person, Jordan Smee. Well, it looks like I'm joining all the people affected by industry layoffs this year. That was a technical artist at Surgent Studios. Who else? Hello, the chapter entitled Pete Works at Surgent Studios is coming to a close at the end of the month. This is the level designer at Surgent Studios, dude. They are letting their people go. Why is it that they're letting their people go? Well, if you take a look down at the Steam charts, which is a photo that they have provided. Thank you, That Park Place. And thank you, Minimal Effort Gaming. 14 players right now, 24-hour peak of 28. And since I reported on the game's all-time peak at 287, it has not improved since then. There were some people in my comments who were saying, oh yeah, it's going to get much better from here, Dread. You're just stupid. You don't pay attention. Well, it looks like you were all wrong. The game sales were also clearly affected by the game being added to Sweet Baby Inc. Detective. Well, that was going to happen no matter what. And I do believe that it being put on that list did affect the game's sales because people saw this game coming from a mile away and said nope. And there were people who called out the lies. Rosary Warrior John F. Trent said, if it's false show sales numbers, this is not addressing it. In response to Abubakar Salim saying that the game isn't selling well, he said, nonsense. He said it's false. I've addressed this on an AMA Reddit. The numbers some are circulating are a fraction of our actual playership, and they're being shared in bad faith by people who are wanting to provide proof that their harassment campaign has been successful in punishing us for daring to take up space. Yes, that's what people are mad about, that you dared to take up space in the gaming industry. So what he is alluding to is that racism is at play here, which is why they have struggled to find success for their video game. And this is not the only time that this guy has screamed victim. He has done it in a video before where he was saying that he is the victim of racism. He said, why drop the price of your game? It's our way of making a statement in the face of targeted harassment. No, it's not because people don't want to play it. It's because you're being harassed. And so you feel the only way to counter the harassment is to lower the price of the game? Yeah, that makes perfect sense, buddy. He says, when we hear the word diversity, we always think about race or gender as the only factors. This is a very narrow and honestly uneducated interpretation of what diversity can mean. So what does he say diversity means? He says it not only means socioeconomic positions and the issues we face globally, which is just another term to describe the racism that they face. Diversity can also apparently encompass people who struggle with the pressures of ensuring that there is enough food on the table. So if you're hungry, that's diversity, okay? You putting food on the table, that's diversity. A roof over families' heads, buying a home, that's diversity. And all other elements that are vital to day-to-day comfort and survival, which many people take for granted. So everything is diversity, okay? It's not just race and gender. When we're talking about diversity, we're talking about the very air that you breathe. What? Well, now that they lowered the price of their game due to unforeseen targeted harassment, now people are starting to lose their jobs. So was that really a worthy choice of you to make, to change the price of the game to balance out all of the people that are saying mean things about your game? The game has not been successful from the very start. A couple of hundred people is not a success, even for an indie game. I mean, indie games, 200 people and that's it? And then it's gone downhill since then? No one's tried to buy this or play it? How are you going to say that the game is selling well? It's just not selling well. If it was, you wouldn't be laying people off. And your employees that you have fired are saying that it's part of the industry layoffs and that they're part of this big round of layoffs. I mean, these are not exactly interns that you're letting go. You're letting go of level designers, environment designers, and a big part of ZOW, if I recall correctly, was that it's a platformer with really intricate and beautiful level design. That's one of the biggest aspects of the advertisements for the game, is how beautiful the world looks, right? Well, those people are being removed. That Park Place diligently added that BB Suker Ltd nonsense, where Sweet Baby Inc. CEO had teamed up with Abubakar Salim and David Heddard, the people who currently run Sweet Baby Inc. now, to create another Sweet Baby like before that one existed that sounds a lot like Sweet Baby, Baby Suker. It's weird. They terminated him on 18th of March 2024, termination of appointment of Abubakar Ali Salim as a director. So this was back in March. This was actually very recent that he was terminated as the director. Amy Leigh Shaw was made the director in 18th of May 2023. But this is what happens when you are associated with Sweet Baby Inc. You know, people can make the argument all day. It was like, well, all these people are losing their jobs unfairly. Well, these people let Sweet Baby Inc. come in. Everything that Sweet Baby Inc. touches turns to crap. Everything they say is fueled with racism and hatred for whites and males and gamers in general. They talk about terrifying their customers into doing what they want. And with the amount of money that they can charge for trying to pressure these companies into adding the DEI that they want to add in is astronomical compared to the amount of money that these people are making by simply making the games. The priorities in the gaming industry are all out of whack, and the people who should not be hired are being hired. So what is the answer? For gamers to vote with their wallets and to not buy their games. This right here is the result of that. And yes, people who are just trying to work on the games and design levels because they're passionate about making video games are being laid off because ideological nonsense is taking priority over creativity and ambition. It's all about the ESG points, people. It's all about the diversity, equity, and inclusion, even at the expense of people's jobs. And they will deny to the grave that their game is not doing well, as long as they can keep up the optics that Sweet Baby Inc. does nothing but good in this industry. And being a victim and a pusher of DEI is the only way that you can succeed truly in this industry. Well, it is not the case here. There are no people buying this game. Even now, as it is being made controversial yet again, and people are talking about it, people are making videos with thousands of views, and yet it still gets no attention on the Steam charts. It continues to go down, no matter what. Do you see this? It has not improved since May. It just went downhill and has been steady ever since. It's just not had a great time at all. As it says here, even with Salim attempting to paint himself as a victim in June, it did not significantly move the needle when it came to an increase in players. The peak concurrent in June only hit 47. In the past 24 hours, the peak concurrent was only 28 players. Well, I mean, they did double their player base for a little bit. It hit that little peak right there. You can see right there that little tiny point where it hit 40-something players and then it just dipped right back down to the 20s and now it continues to go down. Yeah, not a good time. Maybe you shouldn't paint yourself as a victim and blame everybody else for your game failing. Maybe you should get in touch with those people at Sweet Baby Inc. and ask them why they are doing everything that they are doing to where they are causing your people to be laid off, possibly your studio to be shut down among other studios that they have caused to be shut down with their meddling. Maybe you should get answers from them instead of yelling at people that you don't know for your game failing. You're going to accuse everybody else of not buying your game, but refuse to take accountability for the things that you say, the things that you do, and the people that you work with, the things that they say and do. You're just going to let all of that slide. But it's our fault that your game isn't doing well. You're a victim. That's what you're saying. That's the argument that you're going to go with, is that you're a victim. We're the bad guys. I really don't like the fact that people have to lose their jobs over Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement in this game. But let this be a lesson. If you watch this video from him that's right above my head, in the first 30 seconds, seconds, Abubakar Salim accuses people of being racist. He says that ever since he started in the gaming industry, he has had to deal with racism, deal with people telling him that he doesn't deserve to be where he's at because of the fact that he's black. He says that people are just straight up telling him that in the industry, and that a lot of people in the industry face that kind of targeted harassment. And that same targeted harassment was apparently what resulted in his game failing. He says this himself. Now, he will say, of course, that the game is not failing despite the plummeting sales numbers. In fact, they're not even plummeting, they're just non-existent. But we all know the truth because Steam Charts tells you a really good story about how the game is doing. And I feel like only a couple hundred people is not a success. Now, you can blame people for being racist all you want, but the numbers do not lie, okay? There are a bunch of people that are not white in this country that also would be interested in this type of game, but they're not buying it either, and that should tell you something. No, apparently, there are tons of gamers who would buy this game. There's a lot of support behind this game, so why is nobody buying it? You could at least expect a few thousand black people to buy this game, a few thousand minorities to buy this game, or LGBTQ plus people, or people that are far left-leaning, or whatever. I mean, there are a ton of people out there that would play this game, so then why are they not playing it? Is it racism? Did white people just go to all the black people and say, hey, don't buy this Sweet Baby Inc. involvement? And they're like, nope. Actually, that's probably exactly what happened. White people and black people went to each other and they were like, hey, Sweet Baby Inc., nah, it's no good, because most people are not like this. They don't blame everything on racism, like these people in the gaming industry that feel entitled and constantly paint themselves as victims and artists who people don't appreciate because of the fact that they're black. It's ridiculous. But ridiculousness is how Sweet Baby Inc. has defined itself in the last few months. They became well known because of the fact that they were attacking innocent people, and they're continuing their trend now. Abubakar Salim, for all intents and purposes, is a Sweet Baby Inc. employee, just not on paper. But he's worked very closely with these people. He's had a bunch of people from Sweet Baby Inc., including the CEO herself, personally support this video game. So what should that tell you? I think it should tell you that the only person who is wrong in this situation is Abubakar Salim for saying that people are just harassing him for no reason. Nope. White and black people are not buying your game. A couple hundred people. That is a lot of non-white people that are not purchasing your product. I think that you need to look inward and figure out what the real problem is, because you're looking at this all wrong. And that is all I've got for you guys in this video today. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you haven't had the chance to like it and share it with your friends, that would be awesome. And hey, if you're feeling ultra spicy, consider subscribing to my channel so that you're always up to date on what kind of thing I've got going on. I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Later. Meow meow.